This is an unexpected live stream again. I'm just coming to chat. Hey, unequally Chris. How are you? Shalom to you. Thanks for joining from Facebook or Twitch. Appreciate it, okay? I just finished a radio stream, and during the stream, which is nice that it's live. Art, really? I have to jump in the shower. Okay, enjoy. Well, not enjoy, but have a good shift. I know it's not enjoy, but you might enjoy. Oh, sorry that you can't join right now, T. Witten. Love you and have a good shift. Thanks. Hello, Jules. I'll wait for a few people to come in. Hi, guys. Peter, Gabriel is your. Oh, that's your pick. Oh, wow. Look at that. I wouldn't have known. Thanks for finally connecting. So you like, I take it, Peter Gabriel. So I played Shock the Monkey today. Hey, Susan. Yes, we listened to Shock the Monkey. I hadn't listened to that one in a minute. Peace. Aliyah. Yes. I got you, Angela. Hello. Thank you. I'm waiting for a few more people to come in for the unexpected live stream. You had that on your cassette? Oh, Shock the Monkey. I hadn't even heard that in so long, so it was an interesting thing to listen to. Let me share my screen, and I want to talk about, I know it's one of those things that we are not surprised about. Oh, Jules is the biggest fan? Oh, I didn't know that. That's your better half? Look at that. Oh, I didn't even know. Look at that. Oh, the biggest fan. So, yeah, we played a little Peter Gabriel. We might play a little bit more tonight. It goes with the flow there. So, yeah, we have enough people. I wanted to just talk to you all about the decision for JoJo Magoo and his clown world of sports to declare an emergency. So right now, as of less than an hour ago, we're working with a new declaration that the monkey, are they censoring that word? I haven't really, I'll just say, let's see, primate pops has been declared a public health emergency. Now, this is, of course, the ABCs of the world and all that. And you can already see that they're saying that a jab for the primate pops is already available. So the jab is available already. And it is available for kids on a case-by-case basis. You can't hear? Let me see. Let me try let me hook my mic up. I had it unhooked. Maybe it makes a difference, but sometimes the mic on the laptop is enough. But let me try my external mic and see if it's better. Let me know. Susan, that's, yeah, right? Crazy how it's back to blaming primates for unequally. Chris says, I still will not comply. Faith over fear. Yes. We are the errants, and we see everything we see some things that are going on around us. It's hard to see everything because it's so many plates in the air at one time. But just so you could have a heads up on, so you can be aware, the situational awareness is really my concern, because other people freak out. So I like to know, like, what's the temperature of the room sometimes. So, with all of this, and like I said yesterday, I heard somebody who I thought was pretty awakened to a lot of the lies. Like I mentioned that they were awake to some of the conspiracy, as they call it, but yet they are declaring fear for this new emergency and crying out for the jab before they know anything about how this is even going to play out. They're already asking for a new jab. And my thing is, where is the common sense? That's all. I want to know, where is the common sense? Because anybody with just an ounce of common sense would, of course, really look at this with a different filter after 2020. And why would they want to bombard their body with more juices, more jab juice? I don't get, why would someone ask for it and act fearful? So they're already targeting children, and this is my concern. It really is. So there's a new pharmaceutical. You can see the name right there highlighted, JennyEason. So this is really why I wanted to come and talk to you today, and I want to ask for your help. I need some information, so please help me. All right, as you see what I have here, I'll open up, and I'm glad that the sound is better. So I'll open up this one because that's the one that stands out for me. Pure concern about the children. So you see how they have everything set up. Breaking: Biden administration declares the primate pops a public health emergency. It's in red writing. So they're starting with the fear stuff. I haven't listened to anything on TV right now. But yesterday, this is my thing that I want to ask you if you have seen this. I was actually watching television. It's a rare thing, but if when you eat dinner with your family or hang with your family, you end up watching more than you normally do. So I was watching the Food Channel, and a commercial, actually, every commercial that came on was a pharmaceutical ad. And it was back to back pharmaceutical ads on the Food Channel. Okay. Does anybody watch the Food Channel out here? Let me know, because it's so it's an odd thing. I mean, I don't mind watching that as opposed to anything else. If you're going to have to sit with your family and watch television, that's not the worst thing you could watch. I'm thinking the Food Channel. What about you? Hello, Helen from Pennsylvania. Yes, welcome. Thank you for joining. And Susan, you have my sentiment. Hands off the children. That's why who would like to be a private person, I'm not somebody who wants to be like in front of a camera and a microphone all the time, But I was asked by another person to come out on the digital uh, battlefield, and it suited me for everything that I was observing. I said, well, yeah, I'll do what I can. And that's what I'm doing what I can to create a little community, a little bit of real estate on this internet, and connect minds and hearts, and we can resolve maybe some things, and maybe we can figure out things together. And we have, to this point, I think we figured out a lot together. I've been assisted by a lot of you. You don't even realize it. And I appreciate all of that. So I'm asking for your help right now. When I was watching the Food Channel yesterday evening, a commercial played, and it was a pharmacist. I want you to really hear me right now, because this is something that it really shook me. And it's not a lot that shakes me, but this shook me to my core. I was going to go live last night. That's how much it shook me. So it was a pharmaceutical commercial for children. And it was a medication that appeared to be a psychiatric kind of medicine for possibly maybe depression or something. But I was so shocked and shook that my brain couldn't, at the moment, even believe my eyes and ears, that I froze and I couldn't move to do anything like try to write it down. But it was the first time I've ever witnessed a commercial from a pharmaceutical company geared for children. So I want to know, have you seen this commercial, and can you please tell me the name of this pharmaceutical that is for children? I tried to do a search and I couldn't find anything. And why I figure maybe not is that this might have been the first time this particular one aired. But are you saying you've seen this before, Angela? You have seen a commercial, pharmaceutical commercial for children? Because I was, like I said, really, really shook by it. I had never seen anything like it. So, can you tell me the name of the commercial you have seen, and anyone else, please, because I need to look into that. And I waited and I watched more of the Food Channel until I couldn't take it anymore. In terms of, I wanted to see if they would replay the commercial, so it didn't replay while I was watching it. So I need help with finding out what is the medication that is now being marketed for children. And they have a commercial that's running right now, at least I've seen on the Food Channel. So please, please help me to find out what this med is. And as I tell you, what ABC News has just reported as of 2 o'clock this afternoon Eastern time is primate pops jab available for kids on a case-by-case basis, FDA says. The current vaccine for primate pops is approved for people ages 18 and older. The fifth child tests positive for primate pops in US. What to know? As primate pops cases continue to grow, children under the age of 8 are among those whom the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention considers at increased risk for severe illness. With over 6,000 cases of primate pops confirmed in the United States, including 5 children, the demand for primate pops jab is high. The demand is high. And while the current jab, JennyEason, is approved only for adults ages 18 and older, it has been administered to children in the US on a case by case basis, according to the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA confirmed to ABC that numerous children have been granted access to the jab through a special permission process. If a doctor decides a person under 18 was exposed to primate pops and the benefit of the jab is greater than any potential risk, they can submit a request to the FDA. Only children with direct exposure are granted access. And even then, access is decided on a case by case basis. So, this is what the jab looks like. And The FDA declined to state exactly how many children have received the jab to date through this special permission process. The JennyEason jab, delivered in a two-dose regimen, has not been tested through clinical trials in children. And this is exactly my concern. Is when I saw the commercial yesterday, it just sent a chill, because I immediately wondered, how did they carry out any clinical trials to know if it's safe in children? How would they do this? What time frame did they have to test it in children? Because you have to test it first in non-humans, then animal, and you know what I'm saying, it progresses to humans, but rarely is a pharmaceutical company going to conduct clinical trials in children? I have never heard of such. I mean, this was a unheard of thing when I worked in pharmaceuticals. So I can't imagine how upside down things are, to think that doing clinical trials in children is at all ethical. It is beyond, I mean, this is Joseph Mengele, like Dr. What is it? Whatever, the island of Dr. Whatever. This is Frankenstein. It's all of the monster doctors, and any doctor who would go along with this at this point, shame. I'm in my Evelyn Champagne shame voice. How dare you? Like, we're going to do this again? Like another rinse and repeat from 2020? So this vaccine, oh, didn't mean to say the word. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. There have been no adverse events to date in delivering the jab to children in the US. And similar jabs have been tested in children without serious safety concerns. When were they tested? Because didn't this primate thing just hit us? Like, they claim that some patient zero had maybe contracted, and of course they put them on a plane and send them here. So what year was that we first heard about this primate pop thing? How would they have had time to organize all of this clinical data and trials? So Gyneos contains a non-replicating vaccinia virus. What in the hell is vaccinia? While Gyneos has not been studied specifically for children or adolescents, the same non-replicating vaccinia, I got to look that up, virus in the Gyneos jab has been used in studies as part of the jabs against other diseases, including tuberculosis, measles, and Ebola. The CDC said in a statement, these studies include children as young as 5 months old, and no serious safety concerns were reported. I wonder what continent they did. Now it's starting to possibly make sense with children having clinical trials. So I'm thinking they were over in the continent of Africa. I don't know, something, maybe it's my tinfoil hat, but that just rings that they were over there Bill Gatesing it, taking babies and jabbing them while their poor mothers are looking on, holding them down to receive this thing, whatever it is. You know, they have batch numbers, so don't think that every batch is the same. These things are very coordinated and precise. So Given the case by case basis of administering the primate pops jab, there is no ability to mass jab children at this time. Who is asking anyone to mass jab children? Like, this is getting to be, uh, I could say a lot, but I'm going to hold it for now. Children under the age of 8 are among those the CDC considers at increased risk for developing more severe illness if infected with primate pops, along with pregnant people. Pregnant people, not pregnant women, but pregnant people. This is new. I hadn't seen them, putting the language of the new divide in their articles this obviously, people who are immunocompromised and those who have a history of atopic dermatitis or eczema. So let me just say that they have just now made this a disease that people who have immunocompromised conditions, which that is a very vast amount of disease states, but atopic dermatitis, any kind of eczema, dermatitis, multiple sclerosis, HIV, AIDS, all of these things that render people immunocompromised, including people who have transplants, liver transplants, kidney transplants, they're immunocompromised. It is a very vast amount of people amount that would be considered immunocompromised, including elderly people to degree. So this is, thank you, Angela looked it up. I appreciate that whenever you all help me out. So vaccinia equals strain of, I won't say that because I don't know which words right now, but you can read on the screen. Thank you, Angela. So we're talking about small p making a comeback. Is that what we're seeing? And it's all related in some way. They put a little extra, extra inner Johns in it to do more and target specific, especially populations, if they're so sure that this would children under the age of 8. So these are really young children that they're going straight there. And we were told that, we've been telling people, a lot of us too, that it's about the children. It's always been about the children. So how much more can they show that they are after children? Something is not right. And when you see things like mass jab of children, that must be what they are dog whistling. And no offense to dogs. I don't like that we always use animals for negative things, but going on. So histories of simple things like eczema, and eczema is not simple in that sense that I'm saying it's not a big deal, but I'm saying it's common. It's more common now. A lot of people are having these disorders because they've messed with the food supply. They've messed with wheat. They have caused these problems. It's been a very coordinated effort, and I'm just starting to see exactly how coordinated and how wicked. Experts are not sure why children are at increased risk for severe illness, but it may be due to their immune systems and the fact that younger children are sometimes more susceptible to some viral infections. Dr. Richard Malley, senior physician in pediatrics, Division of Infectious Diseases at Boston Children's Hospital, and a professor of pediatrics at Harvard Medical School. told ABC News. Do you think this doctor, professor would want to tell ABC News anything other than what the narrative is? I'm just asking Dr. Richard Malley, not impressed with your credentials, really looking at you with the side eye. Yeah, you probably are a fame attention whore. Yeah, I said it. Monkeypox also no I said it. No, okay, so we could go by the MPX, whatever. So they have a new they'll be switching up the names and everything like they did with the other thing. Is spread primarily through direct skin to skin contact between someone who has the virus and someone who does not, according to the CDC. Typically, the disease begins with a fever, headache, fatigue, chills, and muscle aches. The disease is similar to small p. However, primate p also causes swollen lymph nodes. Within 1 to 3 days of initial symptoms, those infected typically develop a rash either on their face or other parts of the body, according to the CDC. Per the World Health Organization, the lesions or rash start out as dark spots on the skin before progressing to bumps that fill with fluid. Antiviral medications such as tecovirimat, tecovirimat, which is available for children, are currently being used to treat primate pops. Primate pops and small p jabs are shown at North Star Medical Center in Chicago in July. Officials in the US and around the world have expressed concern that there are not enough primate pop jabs to address the emerging crisis. With demand increasing, U.S. health officials have reported that 1.5 million doses of the JennyEason jab will be allocated to states and jurisdictions across the country. Moderna, the maker of Coco 19 jab, said Wednesday they have initiated a research program. Oh, have you, Moderna? I can't imagine how fast your research program is going to get off the ground if you're just realizing you need to initiate one. Real strange. To consider whether the company could create a primate pop jab with mRNA technology. So Moderna's about to make it more wicked and put the remix on it. Any new jab would still need to go through the regulatory authorization process, which can take weeks to months, even in special circumstances. Now that the Biden administration has declared the current primate pop outbreak a public health emergency, the FDA could move to issue an emergency use authorization for the JennyEason jab for children under 18. The FDA told ABC News it would still need to go through a process to evaluate if it would want to authorize the jab for a younger population. So, the JennyEason company is a company, let me tell you about them, who makes JennyEason. They call it a precision jab. So JennyEason small p MP jab It's from a Bavarian Nordic company, they're saying. It is based on a live attenuated vaccinia virus, modified vaccinia ankara, MVA, incapable of replicating in the human body, yet able to elicit a potent immune response. The MVA is cultured in chicken embryo fibroblast cells and a serum free medium. It is purified and filtered from the cells using various methods. So, this is a company that is in, let's see what city. They are already enrolling people in clinical studies. The pop-up window, I'm on a different page right now. A pop-up window just came on inviting people to join a study today. Clinical studies are enrolling now. So this is quite interesting. I'm looking to see where the company, what country, if you have it in chat, Miss. Oh, they were already addressing JennyEason and HIV. So they've got it all figured out. JennyEason for children, JennyEason for women. Oh, really? They know what a woman is? So it looks like people who are pregnant, able to get pregnant or breastfeed, according to JennyEason, they have gendered them as women. So let me go to that page because I don't want you to think that I'm making it up. Let me stop and share what I am looking at. Let's see. I'm lucky according to Pyhuzite, whatever. Thank you. I won something. I'm lucky. I have a promo code. What's it for? Is it for hemp? That's all I want to know. Let's see. Children are yeah, right. Corn pop pox. Hey, Sean. Sean, you have me rolling yesterday. I read I happened to see your comment pop up later. I was rolling about my dad. That was I was giggle snorting. You are really funny. You and I should do like a stand up. Does anybody want a link to come on and talk? Why don't you come talk your stuff? Why don't you come on? Don't be scared. Pyhuzit, whatever. Why don't you come on? Tell me what I won. Let me drop a link. You want me to drop a link? Give me your email. Let me drop a link. And let's see. I want to have a conversation. I want somebody to talk. Like just like when I do these pop-ups like this, why don't you pop up? Pop up somebody who wants to pop up. Sean, you're going to pop up? Okay. Please, if you don't mind giving me your oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. I think I could post the live link. Can I do that instead of trying to? Because that takes a million years just to. Let me see if I can put the actual live link. Can I put it? Where's Dana? I always need Dana. Dana, where are you? Okay. If this is possible, try it, please, Sean. And Sean, this would be so dope if you popped on. Pop on, pop on, pop on. Now let me know if you can pop on with that link. If not, give me your email and I will put it in your email. Although I have seen other broadcasters actually put live links. I just don't know how it's you're in your undies. You can go. You don't have to be on cam. I'm not on cam. I'm not on cam right now. So you can be off if you want. Sean is in his undies. Yeah, take care of that, Sean. I don't think everybody wants to meet you in that way. But while Sean is coming on, and anyone else who wants to join and chat with me, I'm inviting you. Please come and chat, please. Okay, let's have a little chatty time. I have a meeting at 5:30. I got time to all you little bossa nova babies. What are we going to do? I mean, gosh, and these people are already scared enough. It's the fear for me. I just don't like to be around that frequency, if you want to call it, that energy of fear. Okay, I'm waiting for Sean to come backstage and welcome him onto. Oh boy, here we are. Troll alert. I got it. I saw it pop up. I know. Won't this? Okay, Sean is on. Go, Sean. All right, Sean.
Hello.
Well, hello, Sean.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can everyone hear Sean? Well, this is like so awesome to have you on. I've always invited people, but I wonder. I was like, what is it? Is it something I said? I could never get anybody to pop in. But yes, Sean is here. All right, Sean, tell me what's on your mind. What's going on?
Well,
Everybody's
not too much.
Look at that. People are excited that someone from the Chatmosphere popped up. Look at that. Kathy, hey, in Arizona. Woohoo. Yes. T. Witten said shill alert. No, Sean is not a shill. Okay, so Sean, what are you thinking? Did you know about this announcement?
No, I didn't. Hang on just a second. I'm getting like an echo.
You sound fine on my end. How does he sound to everyone? Does Sean sound okay? Yeah, T. Witten says you sound good on our end. I don't hear an echo whatsoever.
Okay, hang on. So I'm on Wi-Fi upstairs. So
Okay.
there's like a delay. There's a delay.
Okay. I see. Okay.
So it's really kind of messing with my head.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm gonna move my laptop downstairs and see if it gets better.
All right, we can hang out. He's gonna move his laptop, everybody. You know, sometimes you have to just go with the flow of the crazy technology. But we're gonna hang out because we are patient. Hey, the guru, welcome. We're just talking about primates and how we listen to Peter Gabriel earlier on the radio. So let's wait for Sean to get into a better area. You know, everybody knows the best areas in there. Yes, in between. Hey, the guru. Yes, finally, somebody joining and giving their take on some things. I want to do this more often. If anybody else wants to join me, like I said, I don't have anything going on until 5:30, and we can use this time to share. Hey there, Mr. Opal. Welcome. We're talking about the primate pops. What do you think about the primate pops? Are you back now with us, Sean?
I am.
Good.
There's a really weird delay though.
It's still it's still just as good as when you were in the other location. I and everybody in the Chatmosphere is saying you sound good on their end. So
right. For me, I'm getting your.
Oh, Angela is saying turn off YouTube. Thank you, Angela. Is that why you're getting maybe a feedback something?
Oh, maybe. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, he's on YouTube, but had to have the interview on Rumble due to content. Who's on YouTube? Who's on Rumble? Let me know. Okay. Let's see. He's going to maybe do something to turn off the YouTube.
Okay.
Okay. Is it better for you? Because you sound still
It
good.
is. It is. Yeah. You know, my dumb butt did. I had YouTube on, but like
Oh, that's okay.
on the same tab, it looked like this screen from StreamYard, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. All right, we're good now.
Okay, good, good. Okay, so
Awesome.
nice. This is great, Sean, to have you pop in. Let's do this more often. So tell me, what you said you hadn't heard about. I know it just dropped at 2 o'clock. It looked like we were streaming live on the radio when someone shared that it was officially announced. So, what's your thoughts after I read the deal with this
Well,
the
I
targeting children?
well, you know, I don't like that, but I actually got on just a little bit late from when you started, so it's um, it's a mandate, or what exactly is it that you're reading?
I was just looking at what the narrative is so far. Like, it's always important to catch them in the first report of their narrative because it begins
Yes.
to spin. So I wanted to catch them early in the narrative and see how they are positioning their information. And it looks so far that they are targeting really children under 8 years old. I could be paranoid, but that's what I'm picking up. And I don't understand how they've had time to have clinical trials.
Well, I mean, I don't believe in anything they say, you know, so I, wouldn't surprise me at all if they didn't have any clinical trials. The other thing is you know, maybe they've done this ahead of time.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, I definitely don't trust them.
yeah.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. When you can jump into the narrative and start, you know, exposing them right from the beginning, this is how we win.
Right. Right.
I mean,
Hmm.
I've seen it happen many times.
Right. Yes. So I wanted our group to jump on the narrative early because we tend to come together and bring the puzzle pieces together. And this is an effort to protect children. Even, I mean, if you don't have children, this is pretty disturbing to me. It disturbs me more than anything because how blatant towards children this is.
Right. And what's even worse is how many people don't pick up on it.
Exactly.
You know, it's just, and then you try to tell them, and then you know, you're the weirdo, or you're this, or you're paranoid, or you're that, and it's like, look, people, open your eyes. You know, it's right in front of your face, but people have a hard time separating the emotion from the facts.
Right.
Um, and of course, the media plays on that. We all know that. And unfortunately, emotional people get sucked into that type of thing. And it just, you know, it's like a never ending spiral with them. It's just on to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, you know, and before the truth comes out about it, they're on to the next thing, you know, to keep them on that emotional roller coaster, and they can't get off.
Yeah. So it seems like this is ahead of the fall activities. We know that November is midterms and then back to school. And I'm thinking ahead of the, narrative right now. So the midterms comes up really strong for me because there's no way that they feel confident in running JoJo Magoo through their highly filtered clown world. I don't know where they're doing the soundstage from. Is it Tyler Perry's thing down in up in Atlanta on the military base that has the White House, or is it another soundstage maybe in Hollywood? I don't know what this group is doing. But I know they can't feel confident in running JoJo Magoo. Like, there's no way. He looked dead on that C-SPAN. Like, remember that latest thing where he's talking and it looked like it was filmed on one of those camcorders or something.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
That's a whole other thing that cracks me up too, with where we are technologically, you know, in this day. And then you see some of the crap they put out on the TV, and it's obviously that they've been messing with it or edited or doctored or this or that, and it's just clown world.
Mm-hmm. It really is. So T. Witten is saying it's an executive order. So they use the power of the executive branch, of course, to override things, and that's how public health is now mandated. So then they can go above our constitutional rights and things like that if they declare a state of emergency. So people, if they're not over and tired and fatigued from losing their rights, I don't know when it will be the point of just I don't know what a group of people will do. I have been thinking that it's time for sackcloth and ashes myself, but I'm the extremist. I was thinking that maybe the leadership of especially the churches should be coming together and calling for fasting and prayer for a period of time, that they should be in a state of uproar and concern, but they seem to be doing just business as usual.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've kind of touched on this subject before too. I mean, I don't think any of us are really surprised um, with the current conditions of things. And like you, Jen, I'm pretty church hurt myself. Um, I'm not happy with the organization known as the church. However, it's the church is really in our hearts. That's the real church. Um,
Right.
so I don't really pay attention to what those clowns do anymore.
Hmm.
But in um, we'll just say World War II situation, the church was complicit in helping the ones that we don't want to say.
Hmm.
So are we really that surprised? And as far as, yeah, I completely agree with you though. They definitely should be asking for prayer and all these type of things. The whole thing, I don't know, everything. It's a clown show. It's just it's
Hmm.
unreal. But as far as the children, I mean, what I see with all this is just it's unreal. It's blatant. Um, and I don't understand how some people are missing it. I do, unfortunately, but it blows my mind.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the part. And that's why it's hard to mix and mingle with me, because I look at masked children. I was out the other day and I saw a big family, and they all had like cloth masks hanging under their chins. It was various ages of children, and as they were approaching the door of the store to enter, they all, at it was almost in unison, pulled their mask up and covered their faces, like the whole family. It was a big family of maybe 6 people, and they had little children, and they all did it at the same time to go into a store in an area where nobody has demanded such.
They got them trained well.
Hmm. They really do.
Yeah, it's
And
I really don't think this is going to fly at all with this monkeypox thing. Sorry. Yeah.
that's
Anyway.
okay. I mean, it's hard. I don't know if they are. I've been anticipating that the censorship would shift, because remember, you couldn't say that country that they're over in near Russia. You couldn't
Yeah.
say that country. You couldn't say things. A lot of people were having their channels taken down, and just all this unnecessary demonetized, and different things. If you spoke about, maybe you didn't agree with that war. Like now, you can't even disagree with war. I mean, I thought there were pacifists and things like that. And now, I'm thinking that their narrative to try to get this thing is going to be, like you said, so hard to pull off, that I'm not sure if, what do you think? Do you think they're going to start pulling down channels again, pulling down pages? What do you think? Do you think they have the inner Johns to pull this off, because they have so many things going on at one time?
I don't think it's going to fly because for multiple reasons. I mean, number one, we just went through this, and that's going to wake, some people are going to start questioning things. The other thing is just the nature of what we're talking about. It's in the way it's transmitted. So if we get the word out there, which is what they're kind of trying to squash, that it's mainly in the uh, alternative community, we'll say, you know, um, and that a lot of people already know this, and a lot of people are already saying this. So I really don't see this flying just because of that alone. I just don't think that people are going to be extremely scared and worried about this once they figure out what you got to do to get it.
Mm. Well, I heard, and can somebody confirm this? I think I saw somewhere where they were already jumping the shark and saying that it is going to be transmitted not just skin to skin, but now airborne. Because if they could get it to be transmissible by airborne methods, that's when they could go all out and do the masking and the, if they could even do another lockdown. But I know in China, actually in Shanghai, I did come across an item yesterday that they went into a full hard lockdown in Shanghai. So I'm talking like one of those kind of things that you see in those movies type of thing.
Right.
Very dystopic. So that,
Yeah.
entire city right now is locked down. So I mean, I know they could do a lot more there because they've really gotten that society so controlled in terms of they pretty much they comply. The ones that are the ones you see all about, they comply.
Yeah. Well, they don't have much choice over there. I mean, they don't have a Second Amendment for one.
Yeah.
um, Yeah, but I hear you. It always, with all this stuff, it's we know what they're going to push. It's always what it is it's what angle are they going to work? You
Right.
know, that's what it
Hmm.
is. It's always an angle, and there's always a lie there. So that's just I think with this one, I think that's what we kind of got to do is just kind of wait and see how it starts to play out, and see what angle they're trying to push and everything. But yeah, you're right. If they can convince the public, which not hard, that it's airborne, then yeah, they'll try to pull this crap. But I don't know.
Hmm.
I'd like to say that the first one wouldn't have gotten as far as it did, but it did.
Right.
You
Right.
keep people in fear, and they don't think.
Yeah. And that's my concern is the people around that don't think and don't have critical processing abilities, and they're just so
Right.
psyoped. And I think that so many people just at this point, the metaverse of this whatever matrix is just all death and destruction and depression. And look at this right here. Angela is saying, has anyone else had people asking for money for S in children for school? Walmart, Five Below have been soliciting in your area. I have not. Have you seen it, Sean? Anyone soliciting for?
No.
No.
No, but
Angela,
why am I not surprised?
right. I'm not. And that's why I'm asking if anybody please comes across that commercial I just mentioned, pharmaceutical commercial targeting children. And I believe it had something, it was some kind of mental health medication, and the side effect profile was horrendous because you cannot do a pharmaceutical ad, as you know, without doing the pharmaceutical uh, rundown, the product circular monograph, and you have to talk about a balance. Supposedly, you have to tell the adverse events. That's why when you watch the pharmaceutical ads, when they start to rattle off all of those horrendous side effects, they will have like something like a nice ditty from the Temptations or the Supreme singing Baby Love. And they're talking about right over Baby Love. Oh, this can cause sudden death. This can cause kidney failure. This is tuberculosis. And in some people we've seen rashes, headaches, diarrhea. I mean, it's all the same, right? So you go into the typical every pharmaceutical, you already know in their product circular, it's almost like cookie cutout. It always has headache listed as their side effect profiles. Always a headache, diarrhea, always maybe insomnia, all these kind of things. And then they get into the hardcore side effects that they don't want to tell the public, but they have to put it where the public won't really think that's really a concern because you're playing music from a time in their life. Isn't that interesting that now I'm doing radio? But they are using music to put people in a state of, what is it? What's the word? People know what I'm talking about. Is it neuroplasticity that when the music opens the reception up,
Yeah,
and to receive?
it's basically the alpha state. Um,
Oh, yeah.
Alpha brain waves. It's a relaxed state, and you're very open to receive. It's what happens when you watch TV. They do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a nice find or a good call on that, Jen. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. They're going to play some song from your childhood or whatever that makes you feel all happy and yada yada yada. So you're not really paying attention. My head might fall. Who cares? And it's yeah. These people are very slick, and people don't realize just what humanity's been under attack by these people for a long time. I mean, I know we all know that, but I'm saying from like technologically. Um, it's very, I'm into all that type of stuff, frequencies and all that different stuff, and I've studied all these different things as I went through my awakening. And yeah, these people, this is why they're programming, television programming. This is why it works, because they're using things against you that you don't even understand.
Yes. Exactly. Seabreeze is saying exactly. And when you bring the truth, they bring the labels. Yes. Hey, Seabreeze, thanks for joining. Yeah, the labels, that's a very good way to divide people because some people are afraid to be called a Trump supporter. Some people are afraid to be called a Republican. Like just saying a Republican, I've had people in my family say, "Yeah, you're a Republican." And it's like, oh, okay, I'm not, but okay, if I am, like, is that really the worst thing to be called? Even to be called a Democrat, it's kind of like, what are you saying? Like, that's now a slander, a thing to say to really hurt somebody is to call them a Republican. So the labels are just, it's so, I just don't understand why many, I do, it's programming like you said. So Mary Kane, hi and welcome. You said if we are locked up, we are locked out, cannot get out and vote or congregate with others, same old playbook. That is exactly what it looks like at the onset as we are analyzing and not letting it catch us by surprise, because a lot of us don't pay attention to the goobers in the mainstream, and so they can do these things and catch people unaware because you're kind of over it at this time, and they know that that's how they've taken over countries. They haven't done this just by child's play. They do a program of demoralization, and that's what's happened to many people. They are demoralized. And if you wonder why I'm moving into this radio space and doing different things, is I recognize that people are demoralized a lot, and some people aren't. Like, I'm not demoralized, and I keep a plug into the creator and ask him just to keep me, that I can, he'll give us perfect peace. He really does. And I'm just telling as a testimony that I'm not demoralized, but I am concerned that many people are, and anything I can do. And that's why I'm being led to go in this direction, but still have the YouTube channel, but also in the event that getting closer to midterms, they begin another purge, and you look up and you might, I don't know, I hope you might look and see what's Jennifer up to, right? Where's her channel? You're like, wait a minute, what's up? So if that were to happen, just know that I'm working ahead of some things, and I'm creating a website so I can have a little bit more real estate, that we can find each other easily if something happens, and I can stay in touch with you. But I'm sensing that the desperation that they have at this point to declare some kind of emergency where no one has seen the evidence of such an emergency. Has anybody seen anybody with the monkey pops in their personal sphere in your life? Have you seen anybody, any neighbors, anybody at the church, anybody at the uh, grocery store with strange things on their skin that would look like what they're showing?
Nope.
Have you? Nope. Anybody? So the midterms are upon us. Really, it's going to fly and be here in no time. And this group have already shown that they will stoop to no. I mean, the lowest of the low. It's nothing lower that they're not willing to do to win. And to put a half dead person who, I mean, even his wife, Dr. Jill, if we were to even call the state of Delaware and report elder abuse, they would have to do an investigation, wouldn't they? Like in a formal Has anybody even tried that? Calling the Delaware Health and Human Services Division and reporting elder abuse. I mean, I know it's funny, but has anybody even tried it? Like, I'm concerned about the president of the United States, Joe Biden, because he is not fit. And people seem to be very abusive of this fact. And one is calling themselves a doctor and should know better. And if the state of Delaware were truly going to do their job, it would prompt an investigation. Like they would have to do like an investigation, right? And wouldn't that just show right in its just probably first day that he's incapable? And Dr. Jill would lose whatever she should. I mean, as a mandated reporter, I know she's not a medical doctor. I know I'm kind of tongue in cheek playing around with that, but still, she may be a mandated reporter. Are you a mandated reporter when you hold a PhD, even if it comes from the corner store? Anybody? Somebody? Are you a mandated reporter? Because I'm a mandated reporter, so I'm not even doing my job right by not reporting the elder abuse going on in Washington or wherever they are, Delaware. Stumbled across. Thank you, Gemini. Love. I'm going to be doing some of these, pretty much moving forward, popping up. And anybody else, hey, 420 while dragon up in Canada stand, anybody want to hop on? I'm free until 5:30. So does anybody want to join the
Yeah. Anybody else
discussion?
want to jump here and chat with us?
Yeah, come on. And did the link worked fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I put a link in and I'll put it in again because it's probably not easy to see it. Let me just share the link again and invite anyone else to come and join and discuss anything you have. If you have some information, because this is just breaking. So you may have another source you may be on Telegram or anything just breaking. And there is the link in the chatmosphere. So join us and let us hear what you have to say. Yeah, I want to know the same thing, Mr. Okel. Where is Fauci Ouchie? Because I saw one of those Instagram influencers. She had a Fauci T-shirt, like as if they were making him such a cool deal. And there was a Fauci doll, and they had things, listen to Fauci. Remember? Oh, good. Look, the Harlem Sentinels in the house. Hey there. Fauci, remember? Oh, good. Look, the Harlem Sentinels in the house. Oh, you have the echo. Fauci, remember? Oh, good. Look, the Harlem Sentinels in the house. Oh, you have the echo.
I gotta turn the TV down.
Oh, good. Look, the Harlem. Okay.
There we go. I just walked in.
Yeah, it sounds good on my end. Hey, how are you? Thanks for joining. Yes, Delaware is a tax shelter just like Nevada. Very much so. What do you think about tax shelter states? Are they ethical on the up and up? Tell me what you think. But Karen, what's going on up there in New York? Because we know sometimes they call that ground zero. What are you seeing?
Well, I've been outside 10 toes on the ground a lot lately within the last 6 months, and I see a different narrative. Like, people aren't wearing masks, the children aren't wearing masks. When you go in and out to different restaurants and different places, they're not asking. They're taking away all the COVID testing vans. All these testing vans are being taken away where there used to be 4, 5, 6. It's a different timeline. It's a different actual reality. I think it's just a whole bunch of propaganda to put us in fear and keep distracting us, because this is the beginning, it's not the end.
Amen, sis.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great awakening, meaning we're awakening to things that we have never, some of us in our entire life, tapped in. Some of us have had I've had a crash course of my life. My 52 years, in 3 years, I had a crash course from spirituality to inner child traumas. I mean, to like every category we possibly can think about was like a crash course. And I think I'm coming out on the forward end of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It has been. That's a good way to word it. A crash course for a lot of us. We thought, I thought we had more time in that current reality. I knew one day possibly things could change, but I had no idea that it was this soon, because there is really nothing normal that I expect out of that clown world. I don't see it. I don't know. I like to hear what you're saying, that you're saying in New York, they're not falling for it. You're saying.
Well, people see me out and about. I post my life on Instagram. I answered the call. My call is to inspire and to be a witness. So I post my life on Instagram because there was a time I was in darkness. So now I'm in the light and I'm showing people my life, that I'm a real human being going through everyday issues, ups, downs, like anyone else. But it's a different narrative. You never see me in a mask. You always see me out and about where there are other people without masks. I mean, it's like, it's propaganda. It's the deluge of the information era. That's what it's about. What you're
Hmm.
going to allow the information to do to you. So it's like, as we start learning and cleansing and removing the veil, we start realizing the more we learn, how much we really knew or
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
I agree. This is you're absolutely right, Karen. This, gosh, it's hard to even put into words, but I mean, I think, well, first off, the information age, it's amazing, and it's kicking their butt. It's kicking their butt. It's destroying
What?
their narrative.
It's
We
like,
are destroying their narrative.
are we? We're poking thousands and thousands of holes. Like, I just want people to look at the brighter side of it. We can't keep looking. Light comes from darkness. So we must continue to look at the brighter side.
Hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree. A big part of the problem is that a lot of people are on different pages, so to speak.
Hmm.
Um, Raised different ways, different generations. There's there's definitely a lot of divides, but because we're all walking around with this super duper, electronic gadget in our pocket that connects all of us together, it's it's killing their narrative. I've been watching it happen. I've been watching it happen for 10 years, 10, 12 years now. And it's a slow thing, but it is, we're moving to a good place. We are, and we're winning. And that's why they're going nuts on the TV and on the mainstream media. And they're trying to throw this narrative and that narrative because they're losing. So yeah, be positive. This is actually a great thing. I believe that once we get past this, we're going to go into a renaissance because of
Exactly.
yes, the technologies and the things that are being put in our
Exactly.
hands as like the little person. Like I've talked to some of y'all about it and your spoon and everything, Jen, but like I bought a laser engraver, and I'm starting my own business, and so many people are doing that. And I
Ooh,
love it because I'm an entrepreneur type
Wow!
anyway.
Congrats.
Thanks.
right.
Um,
And the meek
you
is
know,
inheriting the
Nice.
earth, though. Look how many people have
amen.
become entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of a born entrepreneur type.
Yeah.
I'm just like that. but I fought that struggle my whole life because, I'm basically surrounded by job people. And, but so I've had so many struggles, ups and downs with business and different things through my life trying to be an entrepreneur. And I was at the point where you couldn't have probably pushed me into it because I've taken so many risks and different stuff in my life and everything like that. And then this whole situation pushed me into it, and now it's like, oh, well, I've been playing this game my whole life anyway. You know what I mean? So now's the time, so, and it's cool.
This time, remove the fear. It was always there. Just remove the fear.
Amen.
And that's what we all have to remove, the fear. It is what it is. It's been written. I mean, people were talking about things that we're talking about today in the 70s and the 80s, and they were considered nut cracks, right? So the information has just been recycling and recycling and recycling. But now the mass, that's what the Great Awakening is, the mass. Like, it's always going to be like a shifter, who's going to grasp it and take it and move on to the light and who's not. It's always going to be a separation, which we don't want it to be that way.
Yeah.
That's just reality. We've gone through pain, hurt, anger, and now you find the joy, which is the light. And we have to continue to, no matter what they put out there, what they do, keep thinking of positive, because I'm going to say this. In 2019, I caught COVID. I was in the hospital for 3 weeks. I thought I was going to die. When 2020 came, I couldn't wear the mask. I worked for the city of New York. I couldn't do it. I literally got on my knees and I said, God, having a job is the only thing I know. But what I do know is what I was taught about this present time, but I didn't think I would be in a timeline. So I'm going to put in all my chips with you. And I walked away, and I must say, that has been the best decision that I've ever made in my whole entire life. Like, the pressure, it's just a different way of life and a different way of being. And every day I just go inside and say, God is going to see me through. And let me tell you guys out there in the world, God has seen me through it all. I'm standing here today strong because of faith in the word, faith in his word. And that's all I have to tell people. That's my journey. I was called, I wasn't even on social media at one time ever, but I was called for something. Even if it's an inspiring word that I can give the next person, then each of us are doing our job. Let go of the darkness, let go of the trauma, let it all go. Just let it go. Just let it go and live, love, laugh, and try to enjoy every moment, because if it all was taken away from you right now in this second where you sit at, what state of mind would you want to be in?
It's true. I agree. I completely agree. I remember when I was young, growing up and stuff, I had a lot of issues. And, but one day I just decided I'm just going to be happy. And I just started decide, I just, how do I even put it into words? I just came to a point where I said, you know what, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm just not going to care about things that bother me this much and stuff. And it changed my life quite a bit. I mean, this was years and years and years ago. And then recently, just going through all this, just all kinds of stuff I've been through, had some depression and everything like that. But I started about a year ago, I started thinking about that. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to try to practice being happy, because when you're happy and you're in joy, it's just like things just melt off, they fall away. The things don't stick, man. The fear is what makes things stick and what cripples and pulls down your life, And I was watching this really inspiring story about this guy who went to prison for like 34 years, basically something he didn't commit. But he was also in Vietnam, just a tough dude, and he got into prison and they try to bully him and all this stuff. And the stories are hilarious because this dude is just not afraid of them and he's tough, and he kicks the crap out of all of them and blah, 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 blah. But point is my sons and I were watching that, and I was telling them, I'm like, look, man, the hardest thing to do is stay out of fear. But if you can stay in that vibe and stay out of fear, it's amazing what you can do. And like, even in a fight and stuff like that, somebody you think that would beat you down, if you can stay in that space, you know what I mean, and not let your mind get rattled by fear and everything and keep your focus, you're good, And That's what it's all about. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with all this. You know, it's just you have to practice love. You have to purposely practice happiness and joy, and you have to stay in that vibe. And if you can keep yourself in that vibe always, and it's not easy to do, it's a practice, but your life changes for the better.
It does. I wake up, the first thing I say is in the morning is, I'm blessed, and do with me what is in your will today. What is in the will, and that is what is within myself, to project what is my godly duty
Right.
in the best way that I know how, and just live. And the awakening has brought many of us together to meet some really, really, really great people that we would have never probably ever come across, just like us just being in the chat. Because when
Yeah.
you do anything collectively, that is such a frequency that's being let out into the universe.
It's amazing. It really is, you know, and the chat, I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, like seriously, and same thing, like how I got turned on to Jen was through Prime, and I was kind of in Prime's
Oh
chat a little bit
yeah.
and everything. And yeah, and
Oh,
you know, that really just, I don't know, just making people laugh and just getting some positive, you know, feedback back from the chat and stuff like
mhm.
that helped me a lot through a lot of things people don't even know, you know. And it's I've
Yeah.
been doing better like this past year, but it's awesome.
Good.
It's really awesome how this is all playing out and how we're meeting each other, because I'm like you too. I mean, I mean, I'm an internet junkie, but I don't use social media myself. You know, I
Mhm.
don't really put out too much or anything like that. But now I'm starting to become more comfortable with it, as you know. And we didn't grow up with it like the younger
Nope,
guys.
it's not a part of our reality. We had to learn it.
Right, right. And I was
Mhm.
afraid of it. Like
Me
not
too. Me
afraid,
too.
but
So yes, yes.
well, what it was like when I started seeing what was going on in the world about 12 years ago under Obama.
Mhm.
And I started with, that's when I like kind of started waking up, and but I got a little freaked. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm going to get out there on the net and start talking about this shit because they're going to come get me, you know?
Yeah, they were really
And
getting people in his administration.
yeah, you know, but I just kept learning and learning and learning and learning and staying on the path. And God, it's this stuff is so crazy because it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And you really like, you get OG, you know what I mean? And you think you know it all. And then, I mean, Jen, like I've learned a bunch from you, like about, like, I didn't know about the mud floods and all that stuff. I mean, a little bit, but yeah, I had like the mud fossil stuff and all that I knew about, but like the 1800s type of stuff, like I didn't know, you know, and I still need to research more into it. But the Tartaria and all that stuff, that was like a new chapter that you guys opened for me, which was awesome.
Nice. Who opened that for me is Joseph's. Can you imagine in Ireland? I had posted something on IG, and it was like I was showing something in Philadelphia building, our museum of art. And I just something in whatever I wrote, he made a comment, and he probably didn't think it would hit me as powerful as it did, but it hit me, and he gave me some references to look at. And he even gave me like expectations. He's like, one of them is really, really long, but it's really worth it if you could just, if you could watch it. And he put me in touch with such great like points of jumping off. And it was at the right time that that happened for me because I needed to see the 1800s for what it seems to be, the late 1800s, that something has been done and time has been added, something weird. So I was suddenly interested in Genesis and now the book of Enoch and things like that. So I just wanted to share it because I knew we could tackle it as a group. And I learned from you all, like your comments, you have no idea. Like I literally learned from you all. And even sometimes saying it and just hearing myself, I was like, wow, you hear it in a different way. So I think that we are at we're on this marathon. It seems like I told Karen that one day. I was like, if you're running a marathon, you look around you, you know which people are keeping the same time with you. And it seems like all of us are keeping that time with each other. We met, what, in 2020, a lot of us, and we're still hanging tight. That's why I want to keep doing this thing here and having a place where we can have a hub, at least one more hub. I know we have a few still left on this platform, but I don't want all of us to leave this platform. You know, Susan with Jitskis, she can go kick rocks. Okay, I got a spoon.
Amen.
I ain't scared of her. And you know, I listen. If she did
How you
something,
say it? How we
with,
say it? I ain't scared.
ain't nobody scared of her.
Oh hell
And
no.
that's how I want to be with these platforms. Like if she did something, her and her crew, I'm coming back. I'm gonna somehow get a new laptop, baby, and get a new identity. Okay. It's like starting the game over fresh. Okay, got a
Right.
new laptop, new
It's a
life,
game.
new
It's a game. It's meant to be played.
game. That's how I look at it. I'm kind of like, it's fun. I'm like, look, I ain't working right now. A laptop would really hurt, but if I wanted a whole new identity, I'd just get me a new laptop. Or if anybody who knows how to get a new identity, because they have my IP, they know me, they don't like me, in other words, okay? I am I am what Margaret Sanger calls a dangerous Negro, okay?
Cause you
Yeah,
putting all that information out there.
that's right. I'm a dangerous Negro. Look
uh,
at the guru from the Philadelphia has joined.
Hey,
And
the guru.
anybody else want to come on up? Well, hello, the guru. Welcome. Oh, wow. Pop up, the
Hey,
guru.
the
Hello,
guru.
hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
man.
Peace,
Guru,
peace,
yes. What
love and
up?
light to everybody.
Peace.
Love and light back
Thank
to
you. And
you.
to you.
Thank you, thank you.
How's it going up in
I
Philly?
appreciate
How is it?
it's it's going.
Good.
Karen, I just want you to know I really appreciate you, and I just want to let you know I'm gonna need some help with them crates later on. Okay?
Don't worry, I was always the little kid. I was the kid that stood under the stairs, right? I helped
Uh,
out with the crates because I found out that's the way you get in the party for free. And the DJ meets everybody. The DJ always gets a plate of food. The DJ always gets free drinks. And you know, the crowd is always around the DJ. So I learned that young, guru, like real young. I was always the one, you know, my mama always told me, watch what they do, but do what they like do. They're gonna tell you one thing to do and they're gonna do another. So don't do what they tell you to do, do the other. So I was always
right.
that kid. I was helping with them crates, guru. I was helping with them crates.
I know that's
Nice.
right.
Like
I
that.
know that's right. Well,
That's great.
well, what a lot of people might not know is that Jennifer is actually my sister,
Yeah.
and she has been such a good sister my whole life. Like,
Oh.
just, I mean, like, I don't even know. I don't even have the
I
words to
believe that.
say, but
I believe
she's
that. I believe that.
she, she's a really good big sister. You know,
You not
like, and
lying.
always has been, and was
Wow.
always dragging me. Always had to watch me, dragging me all over the place, from here to there, and so on and
Yes.
so forth. You know, and just got to experience a lot of different things with her. You know, so it, you
Mhm.
know.
I
Oh, I
bet.
bet.
I bet. I
I
bet she's a
bet.
jack. She's
That's
a jack of all
awesome.
trades.
I didn't pay him to say this, anyone. I
But
really like. I'm
everything you
glad
said
that
is facts, though,
I'm
Jen.
glad I'm
Because
not on camera for you guys to see me getting all the clip. Thank you,
it's a, but it's a
Guru.
fact.
No, you know
It's
what? Listen, I didn't tell everybody that he's my brother because you know what I'm saying. He's not really on the interjohns like we are, so I want him to just, you know, as he wants to be on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just
Yeah.
really excited that you popped up. You popped up, yeah.
I
So
mean, like,
yes.
I've been kind of touched by what's your name again? Sean? Sean?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really touched by the stuff that he was saying. And then when Karen hopped on, I was like, oh man, I might have to hop on and mess with Karen real quick because I like her.
It's okay. The guru, you know how me and Jen really connected?
How's
I had
that?
to give the New York flow. They was coming at her on her Facebook, on her page, and I'm just
Yeah.
a New Yorker, right? My property is my property. How
I know
dare
that's
you
right.
step on my property? And they
Yeah,
was
that's
coming
right.
at her, and I had to get on my verbal, articulate ghetto flow, and I had to get them people up out of there. And that's how
yeah,
we
she helped.
connected.
I know that's
Yep.
right, Karen.
She was like
Karen,
a
or
bouncer, okay? Like I
yeah.
call that's why when people say when you hear me say the beautiful Harlem Sentinel, I mean every last
Okay.
word, everything
Okay.
cuz she helped me. People like she's not kidding. When I came out as a supporter of Trump, okay? Now I was not very political. Trump
Right.
got me interested in being political. I was like,
Right.
when we just missed having freaking Hillary as a president, Madam President, I was about to move the heck out of the country, but then what am I going to do with my family still here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that
Right.
wasn't even like a possibility. So I was happy we dodged that. And then, I was like, my mom loves Trump, by the way. She loves her some Trump. Now, I love Trump, like from The Apprentice and everything, but just didn't know what was going on because I wasn't political. And
But
he
Jen, didn't you say that mom kind of turned you on a little bit?
Yeah, because I was more so laughing. He had me laughing all the time because what would happen is he would trigger all these lefties and especially like people at work, like they were always
Yes.
like doing like they were re. And I was like observing them and they would say, "Did you hear what he just said?" And it was always like he tweeted something and they were reeing so much that I was literally laughing. I was like, this guy is such a troll. And he was more amusing to me. And then when my mom turned me on to like, he's really doing some really serious stuff you might want to take a look at. And then I started taking a look at him on a serious note. And I was like, yo, okay, wait a minute. He's not just trolling. Trolling is literally part of this whole thing. So I started looking at him in a different way. And because I want to see my country free again. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother knows that, like even down to like, okay, Drew, when I would go out on 309, right? This is in Philly, like on the outskirts, Montgomery County. I used to
304.
buy no 30
No,
309.
309. 309.
309. So I would go like cuz I was always into creative stuff. I just have to always have my hands in creative stuff. So I would go all the way out to Montgomery County off of 309 and there was a place that they had wooden furniture but it was all like naked wooden furniture, all different types, oak, maple, everything you can imagine, so beautiful. And I began painting rocking chairs for little children.
The Royal
And I
Rocker, right?
named Yep, see, my brother
Yep.
knows. I've
Okay.
I've been a little serial entrepreneur, but I was doing this while I worked for the pharmaceutical company. So that was a side hustle. It was called Royal Rocker. And I even had these like little brass plates. I had a logo made and all this stuff. So I would get these rocking chairs and paint them in nautical colors. And I would put these finials and like have boats and things. Like it was really like high end for like boutiques. Like even Rosie O'Donnell has one of my chairs for her child, and the Boston Children's Hospital. There's one of my Royal Rockers there for the children. I donated to that hospital. But I was buying chairs that were sourced from American wood that comes from Oregon and Washington. And then all of the sudden, it was during Clinton's years. All of the sudden, I was going to pick up more rocking chairs to paint more. And the store owners, which were local, it was a local company, family owned business. And they said, "Oh, Jennifer, we're not carrying that brand anymore." And I was really confused. Like, what do you mean? It was out of Oregon. And they said, "Well, we can show you what we are carrying now." So he took me over to what they had now. And when I tell you, I could look at it, it looks so cheap. It was so shocking. And I was like, what is that? And he said, yeah, he was really embarrassed because he said, well, we're getting our chairs now from Malaysia. Now, I'm not trying to shade nobody in Malaysia. Don't come for me. I didn't send for you. Okay. I'm just saying, okay, whatever company they use, this stuff was janky as hell, okay? And I just simply asked them, like, well, are you going to be getting anymore from the Oregon company? And they said, no, we're no longer, they're no longer making those chairs. And now we have this brand. And I told him, well, then I won't be making my chairs anymore. I guess I'm out of business then. So I did not want to put my signature on the chairs made in Malaysia. The stuff that was made in Oregon, in America, it was so high quality. I can't even explain to you. It was so, like, it was just sturdy. It would be an heirloom that you could hand down generations. That's how high the quality of the wood that was sourced here. So I say that because that makes me mad. You know what I'm saying? It's like these people are now very obvious who has done this to us, right?
Yes, I agree. One of it's globalism. One of the things that they do is they will take, and they do this on purpose. They will go, like, let's say, I don't know, another country, name a country, doesn't matter, whatever. Let's say in this country, they make canoes. The natives make canoes out of this certain type of wood that grows there, right? Well, they will take the resource, the wood, and from that place, and then they will ship it across the world to somewhere else that's not, where they don't do this indigenously, and then they will make that product there.
Wow. And
it is to break up local tradition and just all our traditions that we've built as human beings. Right. And it's to take, and it's to reorder, and it's a new world order. I mean, it's reorder, scramble up everything, do a bunch of stuff that doesn't make sense, because the whole plan is not, it's not a positive one. it's destruction is the point.
Right. Yes.
And people don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot do, but a lot don't.
Yeah. I think it's hard to imagine that people would want to destroy their own home that they live in. It's like, what's going on here? Like, they don't have any loyalty, of course, to countries, but they don't have loyalty to this earth. It's very obvious. So their plan is to escape somewhere. Where do you all think they plan to escape to? Anybody?
Underground.
Another planet. Or on the other side of the Arctic wall that they've been hiding from us.
Well, I mean, in the Bible, it talks about the great and mighty men, being under the mountains. And I mean, and we know they have plans. So, but if you follow along with what's going on, if it's true, it sounds like a lot of their bunkers have been blown up and all of this and that, and makes me very happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been feeling, I mentioned this on the radio stream earlier. I've been feeling, I'm sitting outside right now, and a strange rumbling I feel under the ground. It's hard to describe, but it's not like an earthquake that I've experienced like in LA, but it's something that I've never felt. It's like a rumble, a gentle rumble, but powerful. So I felt that yesterday, today, and earlier, like last week. I would hear thunder, very loud thunder in the sky, and it's completely beautiful sky with sunny, just you wouldn't imagine a storm. So is anyone noticing weird things like that?
Well, last month we had the rumble, like it was the raining sound like thunder, but the sun is out. But remember in the beginning of the lockdowns when that was happening, and we were hearing those feelings underground and that thunder and lightning, and there wasn't no rain, they were blowing up tunnels.
Okay, that's what T. Witten is saying something. Is that what you're thinking too, T. Witten?
Like a lot of this, we have to circle back to finish putting the pieces to the puzzle together.
Right.
Oh, you said circle back.
I love circle back. Like
no,
I said,
because it helps us put the pieces together. Those pieces you put on the side, and then you go back and say, da-da. And one thing we have to do is we cannot forget, because that's the narrative they have us in. They want us to pause, and then we forget, and then we're like back in fear again.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Know
Yeah.
Um,
what you know. That meaning goes a long way. It's like if I already know your character, yes, people can change, but off the foundation of your character, I'm not just gonna jump or assume because someone says something about you and I knew you for 40 years, 50
right.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we
True
have to
that.
go with what we know. And the reason why they keep putting out these insane narratives, because it's all falling down. Like monkeypox to me, wasn't that I asked the question, is that my hand, foot, and mouth disease?
Mm.
And
Not
they just
sure.
gave it a monkeypox. So people been getting hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a
Yeah.
question. Isn't it the same as blistering of the mouth, the feet, the hands? Correct, monkeypox.
Well, if it's like the small p, that they had also, it's early 1900s. These are redos, but they're adding the mRNA
Right,
technology. They're
recycled,
mhm,
recycled diseases that they're boosting.
yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Yeah.
So everything is recycled.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So
Edward
no
is,
fear.
yeah. Exactly. Let me see. Edward, what are you saying? If you can afford real wood, your podcasts make too much money. Most by IKEA.
IKEA, what?
Oh no. Trust me, Edward, my podcast does not make too much money. I could prove it to you, okay? But affording real wood. Oh, you mean when? Okay, I see what you're saying. When I was making that as a side, it was just a business. But you have to understand, like at that time, I was working for a pharmaceutical company, and I was moving in those circles. So like I said, it was like Rosie O'Donnell got one of my chairs. So these chairs they were, they had a price point for people who, it was like boutiques, children's boutiques. So anybody who shops at IKEA, yeah, they wouldn't have wanted that price point. I understand what you're saying. And I love IKEA. I think it's fun. We have IKEA in Philly, right? Where is it? The Guru. Where's our IKEA?
They have two of them. It's one on Columbus Boulevard in South Philly, and then it's one up in Plymouth Meeting.
There
Well,
you
all
go.
right, Guru. You
The
you know your
Guru,
direction as well as you know that music.
he knows he's
You
the
you
I.
don't even know with the music.
Oh yeah,
No, I
he's gonna
gotta
go
come to
help.
Philly, Guru. I gotta come to Philly and
Yes,
You
eat
he
a
know what?
should
nice
Hey
do that.
Karen, you know
cheese
what?
steak. What?
You know what? Yeah. Well, you know what? If you do come here, definitely get my information. Jennifer will definitely pass you my information because I definitely want to hook up with you because I like the
I
light that you
definitely
have,
want to hook
Karen. I
up
love
with
your
you. You're more
vibes.
than a map. You're a map.
There you
Yeah,
go.
man. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
yes, I
yeah.
call him the mayor of Philly. Like he should be the unofficial, the official
For real, we're gonna
mayor
hook up.
of.
We're gonna go across that Betty Ross Bridge, that Benjamin Franklin. That Lehigh
You know, hey,
Tunnel.
hey, Karen, I'm also gonna let you know. Are you familiar with Lady Alma? I know you heard me talking about her earlier in the other thing, right? Are
Yeah,
you
I've
familiar with
heard a
her?
couple of her songs, but I've never been like intense into her music.
Okay, she's actually a friend of mine, and
Wow.
and I and I help her out from time to time with like, whatever she needs, because she just had a show here on Saturday, and it was amazing. Oh my God, it was like, man. But anyway, we're gonna be up there. She's gonna be up in New Brunswick. She's doing a show up in New Brunswick. I think on the 20th. I want to say, well, whatever that Saturday is that weekend. But I'm gonna figure something out
Yeah,
because I
let
know
me
we're
know
going.
because I'm in and out of Philly a lot. I told Jen that like undercover, I'm in and out
Okay.
of Philly because I'm not too far from Philly at times. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
right
Right.
yeah.
across that bridge. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That Philly, New Jersey bridge, if you know what I'm talking about.
It's it's
But
it's like
Right.
four. It's like 4 or 5 of them. So yeah, I
all
got you.
right,
But you
okay,
said the
going next to like Delanco,
to where
New
you said
Jersey.
Delanco.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What you got people down there or something?
Uh, yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, so I'm in and out of Philly like under the radar a lot. But yeah, most
Okay.
definitely. I love your energy and you're Jen's brother. Why not? Why not?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
No, Drew is amazing. I told them how Drew got me out of China when, now that's my baby brother, okay? Because, I told you I
Oh,
grew up.
that's the man.
Yeah,
That's the
that's the
man. You brought her back
man.
home, bro.
Yes. He got me back from China.
Or
China.
she would
Good.
have been singing Puff Out Ice and Wing
I know
Ting
you.
Tip.
I know they was gonna have you on some Brittany Griner type shit, Jen.
Yeah.
We couldn't have that.
Who was the president? No, no, Trump was in office. That happened to me in 2019. Trump,
Oh, okay.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
Trump would
No,
have
no, no, no,
got
no.
Trump
I'm
would have got
just,
you out of there.
Trump
Trump
would
would
I'm
have
have
got
got
just.
you
me
out of
out
there.
of there. Okay, I know
Trump would
that.
have got you out of there.
Trump would have
I know
got
that's
me
right.
out. Okay, I would
And
have been
he's
like,
so
thank
cocky,
you,
he
Trump.
probably would have went and got you himself.
Yeah,
Right.
Trump
He'd have
maybe
came with
would
his
have.
private jet and came and got you.
Yeah,
You
because
Yeah,
know.
he has to make a
yeah.
statement.
And then put a MAGA
Funny.
hat on me. I'd be like acting like Kanye. I'd be so like happy. Y'all be like, oh, she is so crazy. That's Kanye's little sister, okay,
But
big sister,
that's
right?
awesome though, Guru, because I hope Jen gets her traveling wings back
You know what? She's been to so many places. Like, there's not too many places she could go that she hasn't
and
been. That's
come
the
to
thing.
Philly
Like,
a little bit. She needs to
she'll
get a
she'll be
traveling
she'll be back
wing.
up here. She'll be back up here. She definitely has reasons to come up here. Trust me when I
Yeah,
tell you.
Reasons.
yeah.
Trust me when I tell you. So she'll
Yeah,
be back
yeah.
up here
So I
sooner
will.
than
You
later.
know what? I have to get past this. It's like the church hurt thing. You mentioned that, Sean? Like it's a church hurt, but I feel I feel like I didn't know that people would flip like this. It's so shocking. It's not that I grieve the things. It's more so I didn't know people like I thought I did. And
Yep.
that's really jarring to my system and especially my fellow nurses. It's really hard to know that you could be on the battlefield just trying to stand for how about we shouldn't keep people's families away from them. That's not a good idea. How about standing up for that? No, everybody's afraid. And when you speak up, you always are the bad, you're the one that's always, oh, there's Jennifer again. There she goes.
Well,
She
Jennifer,
can't.
were you more hurt about that, or were you more hurt about the people in our family? How about that?
Yeah, no, that kind of hurt me, but I think I've been kind of looking at our family a little bit side-eyed for a while.
Yeah,
So,
that's because they've been looking at you kind of side eye for a while too, though.
Hey, that don't mean she's wrong though.
Right, exactly,
No,
Sean. We're gonna
absolutely
speak up.
not.
We're gonna
But
speak up for
somebody,
her, sis, Sean. Right? That don't
but
mean she
somebody
wrong.
Amen.
somebody said something a while ago. Heather B, who I listen to, she's a rapper. I'm sure you probably know who
yeah.
she is, Karen. She has a
Yeah,
show
Heather
on.
B. She old school, but she's still in the game.
Yeah, she has like 3 shows on satellite radio, but she has a saying that she always says. She says all relatives aren't family,
Oh,
or
love
vice
it.
versa. All family
It's
isn't aren't
true. It's
relatives.
true. You
Yeah.
Yeah,
just have to meet
yeah,
them where they at.
Mhm.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
That's
But
Yeah.
Especially
true.
when
yeah,
you
I
know
mean,
better. Especially
yeah,
when you're the one that know better and you know the one that know that God truly exists, then you have to meet them where they at.
yeah,
That's
Mhm.
right.
absolutely,
That's right.
Yeah.
Jen, I
absolutely.
gotta sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I got a saying that, or a little wise saying for you that covers what you're saying, and it's called "When the snow melts, that's when you see the turds."
I like
that
that.
was
That's
cute.
funny.
That was
Yeah.
cute.
That is
That was
good,
cute. I'm
especially
gonna write
growing
that
up.
down, Sean.
Yeah,
When the snow
growing up
melts.
with snow, if you grow up where we grew up, that is really hilarious because yeah,
Yeah.
you can envision. Hey, Big Pontiac, what's up, Big Pontiac? Uh, Listen, I might come back and hang out, but like I got to get on a Zoom call at 5:30. This has been great. I want to do this again, people. I want to share the link and I want to have a place for us to meet more often. I can't promise that I'll cam up if you don't mind because I'm outside and I feel like I'm getting in touch with just even like the child's heart, being outdoors and something really good is happening. I'm getting a lot of ideas and stuff.
Getting that
So,
sun.
getting that sun all and then I just popped over a minute ago and got me another fig. The birds left me a little something, but they're like they don't put any respect on me and Josephine's name. They're like in the tree in front of our face, just ravaging, just no fear.
Sharing is caring, Jen.
I know I'm sharing. So I just popped over and had a nice fresh fig. So I'm doing less calories, and I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but maybe this is something you might want to consider if you haven't tried intermittent fasting. I look at the book Back to Eden. Our grandfather, the guru will tell you we had a special grandfather. He is
Man.
he was an orphan trained grandfather, and we don't know what race he was, do we, Guru?
I really think he was Native American, Jennifer, because he used to
I
like
do. So I think, yeah, you know what? I
he used
think
to
the
be
orphan
he
children.
had like such a pretty red color and stuff like that. I really
Yeah,
think he was Native American, Jen.
I
Guru,
don't
you're
know.
right. You're right, Guru. I think them orphan children, some of them are already here, and they
Uh,
just threw them inside the narrative because they took off they took away their parents.
mm,
I mean, Karen, he was like the kind of he was. I don't have anything bad to say about him. Okay, like
mhm.
really. Now my grandmother, on the other hand, that's another story. But But my grandfather, I mean, she had a great relationship with my grandma, but I don't remember anything positive about her. I don't know.
No,
She
yeah.
was always beating me and stuff like that with a switch, and
No, because
Nah,
yeah.
she wasn't mean. You know what? She grew
she
up in
was
a
strict.
time where she had to have thick skin, and that
Yeah.
just was embedded in them. A lot of them.
Yeah, yeah.
They
She
just
was
had
I
to
most
have
get it.
that
strict.
thick
I get
skin.
it. But my
Yeah.
grandfather was just it was such a different dynamic. Like
Yeah,
he was
for
like
sure.
he was real cool. He would have us like sitting down there and meditating, and we're sitting down there. We're like, what the heck are we, you know?
Yeah, he
And
was special.
he was just a really interesting individual.
Unless he
I
was
tell you,
Superman and
like.
he just fell from the sky.
I listen, he's a mystery, but that's why I have the Back to Eden book, is because he would carry that around like all the time. It was always in his hand.
But you don't have the original one though, Jim.
No, because one of our cousins, I've been trying to beg for the original, so we'll see.
I
But
have an original one, but it's beat up. It's my stepdad's, Jen. It's
oh
original.
really?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna have an original one that's intact. Trust me when I tell you.
No, it's not intact. Like, the back, the cover is off, the back is off, a couple of pages are coming off. And Jen, I got this the last little piece of that carrot cake.
Oh, yum. See, our mom, she is a baker. Oh, gosh, the carrot cake. But listen, I got to jump off. But again, let's get together like this, like impromptu, and, keep a connection going. I'll be out here like a hippie, but I won't be on camera because I'm just out
It's,
here.
it's
We
great
out.
you back outside, Jen. I'm glad you back
Yeah,
outside.
it
That's where
feels
you get all the
good.
downloads.
It feels really good. But if I didn't have to get on this call, I would hang out more because this is so much fun. But I want everybody else to think about jumping on. I'll provide the link and we can just have more conversations. Ernestina's here from South America. Love you. You're welcome. And I will see everybody very soon. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
All
we'll
was
right,
do
great.
y'all.
It was
something.
great to hear your voice, Sean. I got to now see
Yeah,
you make me laugh all the time. Have me on the floor.
I know. He is so funny. But
The
thank you,
guru, you
Sean.
too.
Bye,
Yeah,
everybody.
you
Listen,
too, Karen.
Love
Thank you
you.
Karen,
guys. All right, we'll do this
We
again.
gonna
we
hook up,
definitely
Karen.
gonna hook up. We definitely
Okay.
gonna hook up.
Yeah,
No
we're gonna
doubt.
get it together. Okay. Bye
No
bye,
Love
doubt.
guys.
No
y'all.
doubt. Yes.
Bye bye.
Here. Love
All
you
right,
all.
y'all. All right, Sean.